The evening unfolded with a quiet sort of grace inside the Willow Room, an upscale restaurant nestled along the riverfront. The air was rich with the scent of seared meats, polished mahogany, and the delicate whisper of string instruments playing overhead. A warm golden glow bathed the intimate space, each table adorned with a single white orchid in an elegant glass vase. Conversations were subdued, laughter muted, and jackets very much not optional. Dr. Adrian Grant and his wife, Camille Grant, stepped through the entrance precisely at 7 o'clock. Adrian, tall and composed, carried the self-assurance forged in the countless surgical theaters where stillness meant survival. His dark skin gleamed under the soft lights, and his custom navy suit fit his athletic frame like armor. Beside him, Camille moved with a blade-sharp elegance, her burgundy wool coat draping flawlessly over a smoke-colored satin dress. Her heels clicked softly against the marble floor, an understated anthem of confidence. Tonight was special, their 15th wedding anniversary. They weren't here for extravagance or spectacle. They were here because a grateful friend, Marcus Langston, had insisted. "You saved my daughter, Adrian," Marcus had said, his voice thick with emotion. "Let me do something for you. Let me give you a night you'll never forget. Table 8, window view, best in the house. Just walk in. Everything's handled." The hostess greeted them, a young woman with porcelain skin, a tight smile, and a clipboard clutched too close to her chest. Camille smiled politely and announced, "Reservation for Grant. Table 8. The hostess hesitated. Her manicured finger trailed down the list. A heartbeat too long. Then she looked up, her smile tightening. "I'm sorry. I don't see a Grant reservation." Camille's smile didn't falter, but a glint of steel flashed in her eyes. "Marcus Langston made the reservation himself. He assured us it was confirmed." The hostess's smile turned apologetic, the kind of apology more suited for an inconvenient return at a retail store than an honored dinner guest. "Mr. Langston doesn't usually handle reservations. Maybe there's been some mistake." Adrian stepped forward, voice low and composed. "Table 8 was reserved for us." The hostess's eyes darted over Adrian's shoulder, searching for help among her colleagues, as if looking directly at him might cost her something. "Table 8 is usually reserved for regular patrons," she said after a beat, her voice polished but hollow. Camille's gaze flicked to table 8. It sat vacant, its white orchid proud, 2 wine glasses gleaming. Prepared. Ready. Yet somehow, not for them. Before Camille could respond, a server materialized, young, apron crisp, demeanor stiff. "We can seat you over here instead," he offered, gesturing toward a cramped table near the kitchen, a dim corner with no river view, no prestige. Camille's hand tightened around her clutch. Adrian nodded once. They followed the server, not out of acceptance, but out of something colder, calculation. They sat. They waited. Minutes dripped by. 10, 15, 20. No menus. No water. No acknowledgement. Camille's smile thinned into a blade. "This isn't incompetence," she murmured. "It's curated." Adrian's gaze swept the room, the laughter, the polished surfaces, the servers attending every table but theirs. "Let's observe," he said calmly. 30 minutes passed. Camille adjusted the napkin in her lap, an act of control. Adrian tapped a single finger against the white tablecloth. Their tells were small but seismic to anyone paying attention. Camille broke the silence. "We're not being overlooked. We're being erased." Adrian raised his hand subtly as a server passed, the same server who had welcomed them. No response. On the second pass, Adrian spoke, his voice slicing the heavy air. "Excuse me." The server turned, his expression flat, edged with something dangerously close to contempt. "We've been seated for over 30 minutes, Adrian said. No water. No menus." The server blinked, feigning surprise. "Oh, sorry. Must have been a mix-up. I'll check with someone." He vanished. Camille's jaw tightened. A dismissal, not a solution. Moments later, a woman approached, blonde hair pulled taut, black suit severe, clipboard in hand like a shield. Gwen Sawyer, floor manager. "Good evening," Gwen said, rehearsed sweetness coating every syllable. "I'm so sorry for the confusion. Unfortunately, we'll need this table soon." Camille arched a brow. "Reserved for someone else?" "Yes," Gwen lied with professional ease. "There's been a mistake." "A mistake," Camille repeated, her voice silk wrapped around steel. "Or a judgment?" Gwen flinched, just a fraction. "I'm afraid we'll need you to relocate or vacate." Adrian leaned forward. "We were invited here by Marcus Langston." Gwen's composure cracked, briefly. "Mr. Langston doesn't usually handle bookings?" Camille finished. "You've said that." Another server, a man in a gray suit 2 tables over, cleared his throat awkwardly. "Pardon me," he said, voice loud enough to draw attention. "But I saw them order." The room shifted. Gwen blanched. Derek, the original server, hovered near the bar, suddenly very interested in polishing non-existent stains. Camille rose slowly. "We ordered. You ignored us. You lied." Gwen stiffened. "Please, lower your voice." Adrian's voice cut sharper than any volume. "We haven't raised our voices. We don't need to." More diners looked over now. Phones tilted, cameras catching glimpses. The temperature in the room plummeted. Gwen, realizing the tide had turned, tried one last gambit. "Perhaps you misunderstood." "We understood perfectly," Camille snapped. When Gwen suggested they leave, offering to comp their meal to avoid a scene, Camille laughed, a rich, hollow sound. "You think dignity can be boxed to go?" Camille said. "Like leftovers?" Adrian rose beside her, calm, devastating. "You've shown who you are. We'll leave you to it." They turned toward the door. Gwen called after them, desperate. "If you'd like your meals packaged, you'll have to wait outside." Camille didn't even glance back. "Put it wherever you put our dignity." Outside, the air was crisp, unscripted. They stood at the curb, hearts hammering not with shame but with clarity. A sleek black SUV pulled up. From it stepped Marcus Langston, face creased in concern. "Adrian? Camille? What happened?" Camille let the silence stretch before answering. Adrian handed Marcus the night in a single sentence. "Your restaurant erased us." Marcus paled. "Stay here." Inside, the transformation was immediate. Marcus didn't rage. He didn't bluster. He simply demanded accountability loudly, publicly. The entire restaurant fell into a horrified silence. Gwen tried to spin lies. Derek tried to vanish. But it was over. "You're fired," Marcus said flatly. "Both of you." The guests who had averted their eyes earlier now stared, silent witnesses to the reckoning. Camille and Adrian did not gloat. They did not sneer. They simply stood, unbowed. "We didn't come for revenge," Camille said aloud. "We came for dinner." Adrian added, "You failed at hospitality. Don't fail at humanity." Marcus, shattered by the reality he had ignored, promised change. Camille and Adrian didn't wait to see it. They turned from the burning shame of the Willow Room and walked toward the honest light of the street. Toward tacos. Toward laughter. Toward each other. Because some anniversaries aren't marked by fine dining or sparkling wine. They're marked by the reminder that dignity isn't granted by a table number or a server's nod. It is carried. It is lived. And tonight, Adrian and Camille Grant had walked out of a room that tried to erase them, with their dignity not just intact, but shining brighter than ever.